G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in over on the west side of the map, playing in the yellow as the Chinese, we've got Snooper. Spawning over on the east side of the map, playing as the Delhi Sultanate in the color purple, we've got Doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 of your show match series between Snooper and Doubt. This show match is hosted by Jesseology. For all your Jesseology entertainment, check the link in the description. I'm trying to think of like a tagline, like this show match is hosted by Pepsi, the official cola of Age of Empires. Like, I'm trying to think of like something like that, like Jesseology, the official jelly. The official jelly, the official Jesse of Age of Empires. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch it. Let's talk a little bit about what we got for ourselves today. So, game 1, it went over to Doubt. If you missed that one, well, I've spoiled it for you. It'll be the video that was uploaded immediately before this one. Obviously, we don't know how it's going to go down, but things already looking good for Snooper. This is a great matchup for China. China loves this matchup. Why does China love this matchup? China loves this matchup because, well, it can be a little bit hard trying to steal a sacred site from a Barbican. Let's just put it that way. So it guarantees you one safe sacred site if you put a Barbican right here. Second thing is that you can very easily wall off these sacred sites over towards the west side, and then that really only leaves one sacred site up towards this northern position to challenge, and it can be very easy to hold this one if you've got an outpost or two. We've seen people like Marine Lord look to hold it in this matchup on this map with the Chinese before. Now let's talk a little bit about what Snooper's doing and about perhaps something that he could be doing a little bit differently. Now, it's up to you how you want to play it. I'm not gonna, don't get me wrong, Snooper's a very good player. But starting off with the deer can be a bit interesting for China. Just typically because one of the big factors for China in the early game is tax. The concept of tax, every time your villager returns resources to a mining camp, a lumber camp, or to a mill, it is going to generate tax. So right here we have a villager with 9, 10, drops that bad boy off, and it's also going to generate 1 tax. Now, the problem is that it doesn't matter if you drop 1 gold off, or 10 gold, or 15 gold, you're still always going to generate 1 tax. Now, a lot of people would think, well, that's cool. You could just abuse it. You could just have a villager that's just dropping off 1 food all the time and you know, generating 1 tax, 1 food, 1 tax, 1 food, 1 tax. Unfortunately, the drop-off animation sort of cancels that out, so it's not really efficient. We tried it. It's not that efficient. But the other way around it is, or not the other way around, but the other side of the coin. Snooper going down with the Barbican in the middle, just a single villager, and it's already half health. Yikes. He's got to be careful to defend this, and I think he's only started off with 1 scout, so this could be bad. We'll check in over on the other side. Okay, Doubt only doing a 1 scout. Oh my lord, Doubt. Jeez Louise. Pray to the sheep god, it seems. But, so these villagers here, you can see 17, 18, 19, 20. They're still going. 21, 22, 23, 24. They stop at 25. I'll give you the hint. So now they're going to cash in at 25. That's only going to drop off 1 tax. So it means if you want to try and take advantage of tax early, it's going to be a bit more difficult for you to do that. And with the Imperial Official out, it's one of the things that it does very well. Collect tax. So typically you'd see Chinese players starting off on berries, not on the deer. But maybe Snooper's got something up his sleeve for us. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to see. We'll check in over on the other side of the map. We'll see how Doubt is doing. It's going to be a Dome of the Faith, so no Tower of Victory shenanigans happening today. For anybody who hasn't already seen it, 3DB has been doing some absolutely ludicrous Tower of Victory strategies. He actually tried one out against Marine Lord. I'm not going to spoil how it went, but Marine Lord got absolutely destroyed. I'm not going to spoil that one for you guys. Yeah, Marine Lord got absolutely destroyed by this Tower of Victory strategy that B was putting out there. So it's just going to be a traditional opening right now for Doubt. So no real surprises there. Knowing a bit more as a traditional guy, he kind of reminds me a little bit of the same way Viper plays. I should probably say that Viper reminds me of how Doubt plays, because Doubt is older than him. Both very greedy players. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. But now Snooper coming in with a super duper early Imperial Academy. Look at this bad boy right here. 425 getting that bad boy drop down. Now keep in mind this is a single scout opening, so you would expect a pretty early one. But only going to be doing the 3 vills on it. I thought he'd go 4 or 5 just to get a little bit faster, but still pretty decent time. It should be up just a little bit after 5, maybe 5:10, something around that. And so now the question is, where do you go from here as China? So typically you'd look to try and scout your enemy base. Highly likely they're going to be opening stable. We'll double check exactly what Doubt is doing, but I would suspect in most cases it's going to be a stable opening with a scholar inside it, which means that you're going to be up against very heavy very heavy cavalry pressure in the early game. And it makes sense on a map like this where you've got sacred sites far away. We did see a building go down. It's a blacksmith. He could be doing a double blacksmith opening. So typically you'd look to respond. Now, Chokanu in this matchup, one of the best units that you can have, just because they do well against everything. Chokanu do well against archers, against spearmen, and of course they do very well against horsemen as well, as long as you've got enough spearmen yourself to keep them safe. Now, we do see walls beginning to come up for Snooper. Interesting position on these walls. I'm curious to see exactly where he looks to try and wall off on this position for this sacred site. We can hear the scout calling out. He's going to be looking out to see exactly what he can find. We see the upgrades coming through for Doubt, doing a good job not to forget them. We do sometimes see players forget them, not looking at anyone in particular. Who was it that I was looking at? I remember there was someone. Was it Lucifron? Maybe Puppy Paw. I think Puppy Paw. I remember it was one of the brothers, and we have 2 pairs of brothers, so it was one of the brothers of the pairs of brothers. Let's put it that way. I think it was Puppy Paw. And he would like regularly forget the deli upgrades, and he would still win with them. But we do see it is going to be a stable coming down. Now, this obviously was spotted out by Snooper. Keep in mind the Chinese have got access to a little bit more line of sight on their scouts in the Dark Age and in the Feudal Age until they've got that Song Dynasty. First horseman going to be coming out, moving across the map. So Snooper going to be looking to secure off the western sacred site as well as the central one. But the key factor here is going to be this one to the north. Ideally, you'd want to avoid letting the Delhi player get any sacred sites at all, just simply because they can really leverage that. But Snooper continuing with 3 villagers on gold. We're right on board with him a little bit. It's going to be an archery range as well as the barracks opening. I do like this play from him. Interesting positioning there on the military production buildings, but unfortunately it's a little bit compact in his base, isn't it? It doesn't really have a lot of room to move, and as is the consequence of our time. But now going to be rotating through. Now, one of the things I'd love to see for Snooper to do is move this scout over towards this sacred site. If I don't think he's found the sacred site, but ideally you want to keep this scout just hovering around this sacred site, so as soon as a scholar comes over here and starts contesting it, or starts taking it, then you can contest it. You can look to just prevent that. And even if you delay it by 30 seconds, then hey, you're delaying your enemy gold. And now all of a sudden, Doubt moving out, bringing out some horsemen. He's got 4 out so far. Plenty of horsemen getting out there. Barbican chilling out for the moment. Look at the upgrades coming through for Lord Doubt. My lord, I've never seen a upgrade bar so thick. Jeez, Doubt, how do you fit in them jeans? Barry's going to be running out now. He's got a few sheep. And you know what's crazy to me is that Doubt only opened with 1 scout. A single scout opening, 1 player gets 17 sheep. Now, keep in mind, there's only 24 sheep on the map, and that includes the 3 that you start with under your town center. So let's take those 3 away. He got 17 out of 21 sheep. Yikes. That's pretty decent. That's pretty good. And especially for a civilization, the Delhi, where ideally you'd be looking to deny their food, that's an extra big yikes. Scholars moving over towards that eastern sacred site should be successful in taking that. I don't see any units up on that northern position. Scout can be falling back towards the Barbican. Needs to try and get to safety. If he can jump inside the Barbican, he will be safe. But those horsemen doing a decent job of chasing him down. Looks like he will get the final. You know what? He turns around and he says, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with it. Taking you with me. Unfortunately, he only does 2 damage, so it wasn't really a lot. But now Snooper got to be careful. This is the part right here where Snooper has to be very particularly careful. Doubt has done the right thing. He's gone straight for the production. China doesn't have enough units, and you can see there's more than enough resources in the bank right now. And ideally, what Snooper needs to do is get +1 in ASAP and look to try and defend with a large Chokanu mass. You can see that there's quite a decent amount here of the horsemen that are out, but the real factor is going to be the Chokanu. Once you can get enough Chokanu to one-shot those horsemen, then you're going to be okay. So once we start talking about, 40 Chokanu, that's when things start to get real. But Doubt going to be holding on for a little bit longer before he finds that engage. We see a village coming down as well for Snooper. We'll check on board with Doubt and see how he's doing. He's got a scout there, so he can spot out where the villagers are at. A lot of villagers on gold here for Snooper. How many Imperial officials does he have? We can't actually see it. I'm going to just control. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he's got all 4. So he should have plenty of gold in the bank. Indeed, he does. He's got 312. More than enough to maintain production of Chokanu and upgrades. Now, just holding on for the moment. Villagers doing a decent job. And it feels like to me that Doubt has just done a little bit of a force here. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit of a force pushing out and just a bit of a feeler. And then behind this, the question is, what is Doubt up to? We'll ride on board with him and see how he's doing. He's just going to be remassing a new army. So not sending out any reinforcements, just chilling out for the moment. Has successfully captured that sacred site. And earlier I spoke about the scout and about its importance in denying this. Now, one of the key factors is, even if you don't prevent your enemy from taking it, you can always come back and look to neutralize it, force your enemy, you know, it might just be like a little thing, like sending 2 horsemen over here to deal with you from being annoying. You know, it's that kind of thing that can be really frustrating for your enemy, that can draw APM off them, and it's a really important thing for you to do. Now those horseman numbers starting to climb. This is where it starts getting a little bit scary. But at this point, we're 10 minutes into the game. The Chokunu numbers should start to look a little bit healthier. Horseman going to be running in. First villager may go down. It looks like double stab. Not going to be able to get it. 2 units heading inside. Chokunu may get picked off here. Got to be careful. He's rallying these units forward. Oh, we got a bit of a counter attack. I apologize. I failed to see it. 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers going down. Drongo a little bit blind in his old age. Unable to spot that one, but now we've got no +1 coming through. We do have +1 for Snooper. Oh, this is going to be big. Snooper going to be able to take great fights here. Ideally needs to focus down the horseman here. That's the key factor in these fights. The horseman superiority is doing a good job of picking up the archers on the sideline as well. But now looking very, very good. But reinforcements, unfortunately, going to get cleaned up for Snooper. Ideally, you'd be looking to drop down a few more production facilities on the backside. He's still got berries available to take if he wants. But now for the hardest part, it's about sticking to this position. With the battering, or with the +1 through, I would expect we do see battering rams coming through shortly. We don't see them just yet. Somewhat camping on this production facility. You're going to be so careful in this situation because those Imperial officials, I guarantee, here they come. Get ready, Imperial officials coming out, doing what they do best. Oh, I died. Oh, I'm an Imperial official. Oh, I'm an Imperial official. Oh, I died. Yep. I'm not going to say that I called it, but I absolutely called it. I could have told you before the game even started what was going to happen. Imperial officials were going to die, and they died. And it was a painful death, but it was a necessary death because Imperial officials just do not learn. The eunuchs never learn, unfortunately. It seems like when they cut those things off, they also cut off the long-term memory of those bad boys because unfortunately, they don't remember being told to sit still, unfortunately. Second sacred site now going to be taken. Looks like Snooper may have missed a wall, or we could have had a scholar that... Yeah, I think this scholar may have walked the long way, potentially. Not sure exactly how that bad boy got through. But there could have been a mountain pass. We'll have to double check and see on his way back whether he's able to do it. Village going to be taken out here. Archers just posturing. Snooper with more than enough units. It's going to be dropping down more military production buildings. Doubt might be thinking about aging up. At least he should be at this point. With a second sacred site being captured, that should give him the go-ahead now to think about aging up. He's got plenty of villagers still on gold back. He's 6 vills on gold. More than enough villagers on gold. That's typically, you know, what you'd see B have when he's not going for the Dome of the Faith. And Doubt going to be training up those scholars now. He's sitting on a total of 8 scholars, 2 more in the queue. Doubt looking very decent, honestly. I've loved this early opening from him. Doubt early, or always finding nice little positions in the early game to just get himself ahead, and does so very gracefully. More scholars moving forward now. Looking to hold down this position. Battering ram going to be coming out. Doubt looking to seal the deal for this third sacred site. This is where it really gets tough for Snooper, and we can see indeed it was the scholar coming around the long way, so he might have done a good old shift click all the way around the back. Could have just run it through on the side. I'm not sure exactly how he did it, but a villager. Oh, villager. You and your stabby. Now that scholar, look at with the scholar, he's just going to be walking back towards that position. Battering ram coming out. He's probably going to need more than one battering ram. You can see the Barbican firing down upon these units. Chokunu going to absolutely shred this. So one of the things people don't realize is the Chokunu do so much damn damage against those battering rams. He looks to hold on. +1 coming through. Beautiful little position here for Doubt. He's getting wonderful crossfire, wonderful positioning here with the horseman. And it's just looking like a cleanup at this point in time. So many units out for Doubt. I don't see any way that Snooper holds this. Ideally, Snooper should be looking to have a few more units here than what he's got. But, I mean, it's easier to say that than it is to do that, isn't it? But looks to manage to hold on. Horsemen going to be turning their attention towards the Barbican. We hear reinforcements coming in as the sacred site gets taken. 3 scholars going to be chilling out for the moment. Archer's going to be able to just one-shot these Chokunu down, or at least try and one-shot them down. Doing some decent work here, but the Barbican going to be able to trickle this down, and Doubt behind this going to be going towards that age 3. And once age 3 comes in, it's going to be a flood of men-at-arms and knights, and if you're extra unlucky, an elephant. And that's when things get really difficult to deal with. Doubt in the center, continuing to hold on. Scholars looking to repair it up, managing to, or heal it up, managing to find a little bit of a window here. Snooper trying his best to regroup, but unfortunately rallying units out non-stop. I mean, you've already lost the goal, right? The goal of the Barbican was to stop the sacred site from being taken. Now the sacred site's being taken, what do you gain from contesting the Barbican? I mean, I guess you gain a Barbican. That's probably something that you gain. Now Snooper looking to push back out. He's going to be able to do so successfully. Look at the Scholars with their healing just going absolutely ham. Horseman so excited. He's got the zoomies right now. Look at him go. Zooming around. Zooming. Look at him. He post this one up on zoomies. Get this one up on ore. Look at him go. He's just zooming around. Look at him go. He's zooming like a madman. Now finally it looks like he's found his destination. The new age has begun. All 3 sacred sites are captured for Doubt. A little bit of a raid coming in back on the other side. It's just going to be some outposts. Very annoying, but at the same time, villagers just move over onto another area. Barbican going to be taken out by the battering ram. Sacred site being neutralized, but at the same time, at this point in the game, you've got to feel that China is very far behind here. Even though it says, you know, if we take a look at the population right now, Doubt sits on 44 population. Snooper on 66. I can't help but feel that right now Doubt is behind. Oh, sorry, Doubt is ahead. Snooper very far behind. Just simply because it's very difficult for him to stop the men-at-arms slash night push. The other big factor, Doubt's going to come out. He's going to be looking to pick up these the relics. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 relics. The 5th one should be relatively safe. But other than that, it's going to be very difficult for Snooper to hold on to that. Now we start to see Lancers coming out for Doubt. Look at all the upgrades in queue for him as well. Jeez. Well, maybe my first thing to say about this UI in the negative is like, do you have enough upgrades? Or did you get all the upgrades that you wanted? How many upgrades do you need? Yes. I think that's definitely going to be the case. Lancer's got to be careful. The Spearmen, even though they are only hardened Spearmen, they are strong. They're strong up against these Lancers, and especially without the Scholars to protect them. Doubt needs to be careful. Doubt continuing to add in more military. We hear the sacred site once again captured over on the west side. He's doing a decent job. I'm still curious exactly how he's going to deal with it. Right on board with Snooper and see how he's doing. Still not enough food in the bank yet. Farm transition should have begun, or at least should be beginning shortly. 17 minutes into the game. Oh my god, he's gone for a second TC. Very ballsy. Very, very ballsy here to go for a second TC. This especially opens you up. Oh god, I don't like this at all. A second town center right now against the Delhi really opens you up to an all-in. And that's pretty much the only way that Delhi can win this, is through an all-in. Oh, this is ballsy. All right, let's see how it plays out. Snooper going to be trying his best to hold on. Forcing these units, at least trying to force these units back. There we go. Doubt's going to have to fall back from that one. We'll see if he looks towards this pass. He's not going to be able to get through there, but a little bit of a wall that he could apply pressure to up towards that northern position. Now, relics should be getting picked up behind this. We'll have a look and see whether he's got any. Oh, I just heard one being picked up. There's the second one, I think. 1, 2, 3. No, that's the first relic being picked up. He's looking to wall in the central relic as well. Relic down towards the bottom has not been walled in. You know, you could have just run like a slightly more angled wall and actually walled it in. That would have been poggers. Spearman actually... Oh, Spearman. Oh, he had a bit of a tough decision there. He wasn't sure which way to go. But now Snooper holding on. And this is where it gets tough, right? Because Snooper wants to age up, but he can't. You want to know why he can't age up? Because he spent all of his resources making villages. And that's where it gets really tough. He's been going crazy with villages. And now he's in a really difficult spot because the Lancers, men-at-arms, healers, and remember, these are going to be herbal medicine healers very, very soon. Let's take a look and see how far through he's... Oh, he didn't prioritize herbal medicine. Ooh, bit of a mistake right there. But now going to be breaking through this wall. With this wall being broken down, it means he's going to be able to march those knights straight through. They've got +1 armor, which means the Chokunu are going to be doing absolutely nothing to them. And now they're going to be able to break through. Archer numbers still looking pretty small, but there's just so many knights here. At this point, the Lancers are going to be completely able to overwhelm this. All the resources that should have been spent on more spears, on aging up, on all that stuff, unfortunately spent on villagers. And taking this fight here means that you've lost your entire army. And look how many units remain now for Doubt. Barely any of them really going down. Villagers still yet to repair up that Barbican. It might look like that Barbican is complete, but I assure you it is not. It is a Barbican in name only. And now a little bit of a raid does get cleaned up back home. Outposts continuing to fire down upon these buildings. But now Snooper looking to try and hold on, but you guys know exactly how this one's going to end. 5 spears against 12 Lancers. I've seen this one before, and I'll be honest with you guys. It was on an adult website. It's not pretty. It doesn't really end... Look, there are spears everywhere. Let's just put it that way. Outpost trying to go up. Snooper taking a page out of Crackety's book. Let's see if it's going to be able to hold on, but I suspect it might be too little too late. I think this is right now. This is his Anakin Skywalker moment. He's like, spinning, that's a cool trick. And he's like, outposts, that's a cool trick. It's like, it's a little bit too late right now. Like, I can just hear JoJo playing. She's singing out to me right now, like, it's just a little too late. And I can't wait. And Snooper's just, he's dead. At this point, he's dead. Now, I feel like Doubt's doing probably the wrong thing. Ideally, should just be looking for the villagers. But hey, I guess he's finding villagers here anyway. And good game gets called. Snooper going to be tapping out. That is the second game in a row going over to the Lord himself, Lord Doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go check out Jesseology. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch her content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.